Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of People Are Awful. Let's get to it.
Women bring nothing to the table nowadays and still expect to be treated like a queen and like a princess and like she deserves the world and the man is just supposed to be there and provide everything for her. Wake up. If you really believe that you deserve all of this, you need to provide more than just your body and your looks and the fakeness that you have going on around there. You need to actually start providing value for that man, especially if you want to get a good man. You are never going to find a good man to take care of you if you provide nothing but your arrogance, your ego, and your looks, because that is not enough anymore for men nowadays.
Okay, you guys are all just like really misogynistic.
What's the how do you define misogyny? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Oh, God. Seriously? It's not that difficult a question.
Can I go?
A personal anecdote.
Can we just also say we don't actually need gravity? But that's a different thing.
What do you mean by
I
that?
saw someone do this. Was this a TikTok? We were watching something where someone's like, we don't actually need gravity. We were watching this with me. Like, we actually don't need it.
What do you mean that we don't need gravity?
What if it was never invented?
I had an experience recently in a restaurant where a man dressed as a woman walked into the toilet. So I was on my own in the toilets. He stood behind me and stared at me into the mirror, looking at me in my eyes. Now, I have no idea if he intended me any harm. But my instinct, my evolved instinct as a woman was to be frightened, because unlike almost any other species, women are far less powerful than men. We can't defend ourselves. That's why we have... No, it's a fact. The difference in strength between men and women is phenomenal. That's why we have separate sex categories for sport. Women are evolved to be wary of men in intimate spaces. That's why we have single-sex spaces. They must continue to exist for the safety and privacy of women. This threatens that social contract. Finally, it threatens the understanding of our law, which should be based on fact. And you cannot change your sex any more than you can change your place of birth or who your parents are. Now, I fully understand the complex arguments involved in this, and we should treat it with compassion. But if the law is not based on fact, then how can we trust the law? That is why the government is absolutely right to serve this notice.
Order. Lloyd Russell-Moyle.
Goodness me, that speech was probably one of the worst transphobic dog whistle speeches that I've heard in an awful long time. The idea of linking trans people with predators, frankly, is disgusting, and you should be ashamed.
No, calm down. Yes.
No.
Lloyd Russell-Moyle.
Way to you, or anyone else, to the honourable member, Now, on the substance of this, ignoring that horrible speech that we have just heard, actually...
Order, Sir Peter Bottomley.
Did the chair hear anything transphobic in the previous speech?
I have to say to the Father of the House that, different colleagues, different members of this House are going to interpret speeches in different ways. And I suggest that what we do is move on quickly.
Power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what...
Y'all rang? First off, before we jump into this fire content, y'all see the hair, right? Yeah, I hate being right. I don't take pleasure in it, but I digress. First of all, the stinky bitch kind of humor. So good. But if we're gonna talk teams, you really want to talk stinky, bro. Do you? Do you really want to do that? You can literally look at a man and get ringworm. I could make eye contact with a dick and get pink eye. Y'all don't even know how to wipe correctly. I know that taint smells like feta cheese, huh, bitch? Not only that, but you strike me as a it's all about me kind of guy in bed with what little experience you have. That being said, I had no idea that Doug started making misogynistic content. Y'all got the same amount of hair, too. He probably got way more bitches, though.
It is so fucking dangerous that they are trying to ban porn right now. Prohibition does not work the way you guys want it to. You know what deeply sexually repressed religious people do? They have the desire still, and then they just act them out in a lot more dangerous scenarios, like the whole Josh Duggar thing. Priests. This is gonna drive sexual content underground, which will make it more dangerous, less consensual, and just extremely harmful. People are not gonna magically just like be less horny. I grew up in a very sexually repressed Christian environment where I was highly sexualized as a very young girl. When things like porn are demonized, when there is a lack of education around consent, and people don't get sexual education, that is when we see the most deplorable aspects of sexuality come out in people. This is so much more than just annoying. The act they are trying to pass to redefine what is considered obscene on the internet is extremely dangerous for society.
The guy you're talking to just showed a picture of you to all of his friends in the group chat.
The girl you're talking to just had to scroll through every picture she has of you in her camera roll, every picture on your Instagram, and every picture that you've ever sent her on Snapchat or iMessage, picked what she felt was the only good picture of you, sent it to her friends and said, "Sorry, I can't find a better picture of him. I just don't have good pictures of him." And all of her friends responded with, "As long as you're happy, girl. As long as he treats you good. I'm so happy you found the one."
Tell me why you're at Pride.
Because I'm transgender.
Do you want to share anything about your journey?
It was very tough.
Does your family make you feel supported?
Yes, a lot.
How old are you?
I am 7.
And how old were you when you discovered your identity?
I was 2 or 3 when I first noticed that I didn't feel comfortable with being a boy.
How did your child discover this identity? How did this come about?
So ever since she was little, she was always the princess, always. She sort of like every once in a while would mention ideas of like wanting to be a girl, of feeling more like a girl. And then, hi kitty pie. She started asking to like socially transition about 1.5 years ago, and her school's been fantastic.
Your family, your friends, everyone like makes you feel supported and loved.
Except for my friends. I didn't tell them that yet.
Oh, wait, do you want to be on the internet talking about it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope to be famous one day.
What do you want to be famous for?
Probably my songs or like famous drawings.
It wasn't even really a change. Like she's been expressing herself as a girl since she was old enough to get dressed. I think that being the parent of a trans child is totally different than what people think that it is. And I know you hear a lot about how we're going to have our kids go into surgery and how we're forcing them to make these decisions. The opposite is true. You know, I'm up all the time worrying about how the world is going to react to my kid. I would rather have her change her pronouns 1,000 times than have to write her obituary. I wish that people who have already decided that they hate us and that we're child abusers would actually talk to us. I feel like that would make such a big difference. But you're right, like the assumptions that people are making are the worst kinds of assumptions, and nobody wants to hear, you know, what our truth is. What it's like to actually raise a transgender child is just so remarkably different than what I would have experienced or thought.
What do you say to the people that accuse you of doing Munchausen by proxy?
So I think that the assumption for that is that, and I hope this is taken in the spirit what it's meant, is that means that we wanted to have a transgender child. And I love her no matter what, but I don't think any parent wants their child born into something in which they know that they're going to struggle. It goes against the idea of parenting for me.
He's not withdrawing because he doesn't love you. He's drowning in your tone. I get it. You feel unheard, so you raise your voice. You feel disrespected, so you disrespect. You feel like he's cold, so you lean in and you attack even more. But men operate differently, woman of God. They don't thrive in war zones. They don't thrive in arguments and proving points. Your words have power and your tone sets the atmosphere. atmosphere. And as soon as you begin to create that war in your home, there goes your man. Pause, breathe, and then respond. See, the beauty of a woman that is emotionally mature understands that being submissive, soft, and kind isn't for his benefit only, but it is for you to not be a wreck in your home and not get what you want. Oh no, once you tap in, you'll realize that you'll not only heal your wounded feminine, but you'll get your man back too.
How about you help me find a husband? It ain't the oldest, it ain't the youngest. It's the treatment. It's not the oldest, Amber. It's not the good looking one, Amber. It's not the one got money, Amber. It's the one honest. And not too many of them honest nowadays. It's some good men out there. But what it is now, it's the women. It ain't the men no more. The women going bad. The women's going bad. It ain't the men's now. It's the women done gone bad. You gonna flip the script on us? Yeah, it's the women done gone bad. You a woman yourself. I'm a woman myself, but I don't do half the things I see these women do now. They don't care no more. But that's when the men don't respect them. That's why. Let me tell you something, Amber. You got to give a man respect to get respect. You know what I'm saying? You got to give your husband respect to get respect.
Why do modern women struggle with accountability?
Because that would mean that they have to acknowledge that they don't bring value to the table. That would mean that they have to acknowledge that all they have to offer is beauty and intimacy. And that's unfortunate. A modern woman is a woman that seeks attention and validation more than respect and authenticity. It is a woman who is entitled to whatever it is that people have around her. It is a woman that takes things for granted, is not appreciative, and kind of just has a high level of expectation with low level of give. You know, she's a taker, not a giver. So that's my opinion of a modern day woman. And I really feel like if you really sit down and understand that all you have to offer is a pretty face and yeah, the kitty, I mean, that's unfortunate. That's empty.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Would you learn how to play basketball from a football coach?
I guess not.
Would you learn how to play basketball from a football coach?
No.
If you want to learn how to cook, who would you want to teach you?
A chef.
If you want to learn how to drive a car, who you want to teach you?
A driver?
If you want to learn how to fly a plane, who gonna teach you?
A pilot?
How are y'all learning how to be wives and your mother wasn't a wife? You just said if you want to learn to fly a plane, you're going to go to a pilot. You want to learn how to cook, you're going to go to a chef. Women don't know what's intrinsically important to a man. They don't know how to be a wife because their mothers wasn't wives. In general, women are raising their daughters to be single mothers because they are single. They're single mother. And they like, I'm going to teach you how to be strong. And my mama told me I don't need no man. And they have raised you to be a single woman.
That's terrible.
And go be educated. So you don't need to depend on no man and get you an education and go to college. They have groomed you to be a single mother. But if you want to be a wife, you have to learn how to be a wife from a wife, the same way you will learn how to cook from a chef. Then once you surround yourself with other wives, then you will know what's intrinsically important to a man. A lot of y'all women ain't even wives. And you married.
Those must have been some harsh words for them to hear, but I'm pretty sure they went home and had a good think about it.